on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Also brought to you in part by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com or your local Ford dealer and score a Ford SUV today. Coke Zero Sugar, and refreshingly delicious. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Roll Tide and welcome to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Welcome, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover alongside our producer and engineer, Tom Stipe, and we're glad you're with us tonight at Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide, everyone. Roll Tide, it's good to see you this week as we talk about some wins for the Crimson Tide and specifically some wins against the University of Georgia. Ashley Johnston's gymnastics team picked up a great win in Athens last Friday night. We'll start the show by discussing Alabama gymnastics with her as the Crimson Tide prepare to host LSU this Friday night in Coleman Coliseum at 7 p.m. Men's basketball, of course, dominated Georgia here at home on Saturday. Alabama taught the Bulldogs how to behave with a 108-59 thrashing on Saturday. In our second half hour tonight, Nate Oats will join us here at Baumhower's to give his thoughts on what's next for the Crimson Tide. Alabama will play at South Carolina on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Then the Crimson Tide will host Arkansas on Saturday at 1 p.m. for Senior Day. If you're planning your wardrobe for that game against the Hogs, we ask that you please wear white on Saturday, what should be a great and raucous atmosphere at Coleman Coliseum against Arkansas. White or possibly highlighter, I guess. Highlighter, yellow or pink. Also, a big Roll Tide to Alabama baseball and, of course, the great sweep of the Richmond Spiders over the weekend to begin the season. And Alabama softball also looked great in Clearwater, going 4-1 in the Clearwater Invitational, including a 2-1 win yesterday over 6th-ranked FSU. To ask our coaches a question tonight, give us a call on the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline at 877-202-BAMA. Tide fans want to remind you as well to keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. Ashley Johnston joins us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
You can trust your car to the place with the star. With tech running your engine, enjoy your hobbies near and far. Fill your car with all your friends and love the time you spend. So trust your car to the Texaco Star.
When you fill up with Texaco with TechRun, you get unbeatable mileage to help fuel what you love to do. Download the Texaco app to find a station near you.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the Ferguson Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. With zero sugar and refreshingly delicious is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. The best Coke ever. Find out for yourself. We're back with you live at Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover, now joined by the head gymnastics coach at the University of Alabama, Ashley Johnston. Roll Tide, Coach.
Roll Tide. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we're glad you're here. We're going to be talking about what's coming up on Friday night here in Tuscaloosa against LSU, but we got to start with the win we saw on Friday night in Georgia. What made that a special night for your young ladies?
It was a really special night. You know, that team showed a lot of fight on Friday night. We were in our second away meet. We had gone Metroplex in Fort Worth the week before, back-to-back, went to Athens the following week. So that's a lot on a team to have to travel back-to-back like that. And they did a great job. They rallied, they fought, and they just continued to kind of put their head down and work and came out with the win. So that was really exciting. And
it was a really incredible atmosphere. You were saying it was a sold-out environment. And, of course, it's Alabama against Georgia. That is the rivalry in college gymnastics.
It is. It was sold out. There was a lot of energy, of course, mostly for the Georgia gymnasts. But our team, again, they responded well. They focused on the things that they could control and made the most of a tough environment. And I think those sort of opportunities prepare us for postseason when there's a lot at stake, there's a lot of pressure involved, and they step into those big moments and just did their job.
Certainly did. And Luisa Blanco led the way, winning 4 individual titles. What led to her success?
Louisa has done a great job of just focusing on the little things that make a big difference. And so every meet, she continues to grow in that way, fine-tuning what are her focus points, what are the things that she really needs to commit to. And she did that on Friday night, and that really paid off.
And, of course, the week before, the Metroplex Challenge, going back home to Texas for her. I imagine she had a lot of friends and family watching her compete there.
Oh, that was really fun. And, you know, we showed up in Fort Worth, and there was a puppy there waiting for her. It was her family's puppy. And I think that just started the trip off on a high where, you know, who doesn't love to just play with a puppy? And I think that made the mood just for everybody be really calm and fun. And just they were able to settle into what they knew how to do.
Do you like the leadership she continues to show on this team?
Yeah, Louisa has done a really phenomenal job. There's 6 seniors, and I think they all bring such a unique strength, and she no doubt has done a phenomenal job of leading the way and just showing by example what it takes to put the work in and step into tough moments and deliver big performances.
Big performance once again as she won 4 individual titles against Georgia, the uneven bars, balance beam, floor exercise, and the all-around. Continues to see good all-around results not only for her but also Lily Hudson.
Yeah, Lily Hudson is such a rock, and she's another one that really leads by example and is one of the hardest workers, is so committed to the process and the little things that really pay off, and I'm just really proud and excited for those all-arounders, for our entire team that is just seeing the fruits of their labor pay off in competition by focusing on the process and staying invested in the little things.
Yeah, have you liked how they've approached the work leading up to meets all throughout this season?
I really have, yeah. I feel like every week, you know, they have done a good job of celebrating the wins, meaning celebrating the things that have gone well, that we've sort of coined as winning the moment. But then they've also really analyzed the little things that could be better and paid attention to those corrections and the things that need to improve. And every week they commit to what's one thing they want to make better, what's 1/10 they can get back. And so we've started looking at it as defending our tenths, like defending every little thing that we can so that we don't give anything away. And by focusing on that, the whole team continues to just improve 1/2 tenth, tenth, quarterly, just little bits at a time, they're seeing big improvement.
And I imagine that's what's led to the consistent results we've seen lately.
It has, and not just consistent results, but building results. Sometimes the score has built, but sometimes it's the morale that's built. Sometimes it's, learning how to hit and pressure that we've grown in. And so I think this past Friday night, that's really what we stepped into. It was the end of the meet. It was neck and neck. It was a really tight competition, and we needed a couple of really big performances in a high-pressure situation. And our ladies were able to do that, and that was really fun. And it's something that we're going to need to step into throughout the rest of the year as well.
And especially finishing on beam, correct, on the road. How tough is that?
It's such a tough thing. Not many people realize when you're trying to balance on a 4-inch beam and, there's 13,000 people that are all hoping you fall. That's a really tough environment to be in. And, it's hard to really appreciate that until you're standing up on that 4 inches and realizing that the only way that you can deliver a big performance is by going for it. And it's scary to go for it. And so that's really what we focus on, is being brave and committing to doing the things that they know are going to help them stay on the beam, and not just stay on, but really really go for it and deliver a big performance.
So now the Crimson Tide get to be at home against the LSU Tigers this Friday night. The last time we saw Alabama at home, it was a great victory against Auburn, a sold-out atmosphere inside Coleman Coliseum. What made that such a special night for your program?
It was special for a few reasons. I mean, I think selling out the arena for the first time since 2014, that alone was really special. To see the students just come flooding into the arena, and the energy and the excitement in there was just indescribable. But not only that, it was Power of Pink. And, that originated here, that was born here. And, that was really special to be able to walk out with those breast cancer survivors and just celebrate their win, to celebrate how far that person next to them had come in their journey. And so they were able to compete for something more than themselves. And I think that's why it ended up being so special. And that led to, being able to beat Auburn at home, which, that for our entire community is always a really special thing.
Yes, we certainly love that. And again, the students were there early, you said, once they made it through. That really had an impact, even in warm-ups. That had to be great to see.
It did. It had a huge impact. We were over there warming up vault, and normally it's really hard to warm up vault when the arena, isn't full. It takes a lot of energy and adrenaline to do vault. And so I think when they saw those students pouring in, it was like the adrenaline rush kicked in. They got really excited, which led to a better warm-up, which led to more confidence, which led to being able to hit in the meet. So all those little things, by fans showing up, by them showing up early, they really do all make a big difference.
The win against Auburn was fun. We're hoping for another victory this Friday against another set of Tigers, the LSU Tigers. We'll talk more about them and what's ahead for Alabama Gymnastics when we return. We're with you live at Baumhower's Victory Grille, where you can celebrate Mardi Gras at Baumhower's. Enjoy a Cajun-style meal for a limited time from their new Mardi Gras menu. Join the Mardi Gras party at Baumhower's today. Baumhower's Victory Grille, legendary fun, legendary food. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer? The Drug Facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the Drug Facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/Drug Facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Roger Hoover talking gymnastics with head coach Ashley Johnston as we get set for what's coming up on Friday night. The Alabama Crimson Tide against the LSU Tigers. And Coach, we took a look at the rankings today. Alabama's 9th in the nation, LSU number 8. So a top 10 matchup coming up here on Friday.
That's right. It's going to be a great matchup. These teams, we both have high ceilings, but we're both going to have to hit. And so, we can't go out there and just try to stay on the equipment. We've got to go out there to go big, and we're going to need everybody there to support us. We're about 2,000 tickets away from a sellout, so we really need everybody to go buy their tickets on RollTide.com so that we can pack that place out and really create the best environment in college gymnastics.
Really looking forward to it. 7 o'clock on Friday night, and I understand you want all fans in their seats by 6:40. What are the pre-meet festivities we're going to see?
There's a couple different things going on. I think, again, it really helps our team when there's energy during warm-ups. And I think, it's going to be just a better experience for everybody. If you're in there, you're ready. By the time that we do our first vault, everybody's already in the arena and not trickling out, halfway through the meet.
We mentioned your transition to being a head coach. What are the pre-meet festivities, the warm-ups like for you now as a head coach? Are you going through the same routine you did as an assistant or even when you're competing?
When it comes to that time, I really just trust our gymnasts. We work so hard at kind of developing their pre-meet routines, whatever their kind of mentality needs to be going in. And so my job is to help remind them of what they need to do. And so, my job is to look and kind of observe and see, are they in the right headspace? Are they warming up well? Do I need to have a conversation and maybe help them tweak their approach? So much of it is just asking them the questions to help them get into the right mindset.
And, of course, that's led to a lot of good results this season for the Crimson Tide. As we mentioned, 4 Friday night tickets available on RollTide.com. And, again, the students, we want them there, like you said, giving that energy early, and even some special seats now all around the floor for all the students.
Yeah, we've added student seating down the floor this year. There's kind of an extra spot for students over by the beam area, which, again, when it comes down to the end of the meet, we end on beam and floor. The visiting team is on the beam. We are, of course, on the floor. And like I said, to balance on 4 inches at the end of a meet when the pressure is high is no easy task. And so adding in our students over there on top of it to create a bit of an environment that is just loud and, really invested in the meet, it's unlike any other. And so we're excited about what we've created this year. It was huge when we were competing against Auburn, and it came down to the final meet, or the final routine of the night. And so I expect it to be pretty similar to that this Friday.
Especially with 2 top 10 teams, Alabama and LSU, as it will be also Title IX and Alumni Appreciation Night. The 2003 championship team, they'll be honored at the meet. 20th anniversary of winning the SEC championship, of course, under Coach Patterson.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see everybody here on Friday night, to have so many alumni and just trailblazers that have led our sport and led our program, especially since Title IX. It's going to be really exciting to have everybody on the same floor, and it's actually going to be my first alumni weekend to be a part of. And so I'm looking forward to having old teammates and just reconnecting with all the amazing women that have made this program what it is.
Any teammates in particular you know are making the trip that you haven't seen for quite a while, or maybe the last time you saw them was here in Tuscaloosa years ago?
Yeah, there's a couple of my former teammates that were on that 2012 national championship team that I just haven't gotten to see for a while. Again, in this coaching industry, I'm on the road nearly every week, always busy, always doing different things, and it's very rare that we get the opportunity to be under the same roof and just share stories and share memories of what that run was like. And not only teammates, but to have Sarah and David Patterson a part of it as well is just really special. And you know, it's one of the things that makes our Bama family really unique is our strong alumni presence that has gone year after year. And so can't wait to have everybody together.
Well, we certainly want fans to come early to the meet and provide that energy during warm-ups, but also there will be a giveaway of Title IX beanies, rally towels, scrunchies on a first-come, first-served basis, so get coming early. A lot of fans want to have those.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of hot ticket items, and so again, you got to be there early though. You got to be there so you can get the free items, and then stay throughout the meet, because the end of the meet is really going to be hopefully the most exciting. Energy is going to be high. Two great teams. You're not going to want to miss that.
And especially stay through the podium as well. You got to love that part of it.
Yeah, when we get to the end, you know, the girls all line up. They announce the scores. They announce, you know, who won each event. It's always a really fun time to celebrate the whole process.
We look forward to that coming up on Friday. Alabama against LSU as part of what's turning out to be a very special 2023 season for Alabama Gymnastics. We'll be talking more about that with Coach Johnson in a moment. Wanted to remind you that the Everwood Performance of the Week goes to our next guest on the show, Alabama men's basketball head coach Nate Oats. He was named the late season watch list for the 2023 Naismith Men's Coach of the Year Award by the Atlanta Tip-Off Club last week. Oats is one of 15 coaches from across the nation and one of just 2 in the SEC who is honored with that recognition. And that is your Everwood Performance of the Week. Everwood, wood treated right. We'll be talking more with Coach Oats in a bit, as well as Coach Johnston next as you listen to Hey Coach. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We've all been caught up in the little chores that pile up every day. The dishes in the sink, the trash that needs taking out, the pesky check engine light.
Fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
When time matters most, you go with what's tried and true. That's tried and true John Deere equipment and Tri-Green service. Tough chores don't stand a chance with a John Deere 4044M tractor. And right now you can get one with 0% financing. With a 43 horsepower engine, power reverser transmission, and a 10-year powertrain warranty, this John Deere helps you work with confidence day after day. So stop by one of our 29 Alabama and Tennessee locations or visit us online at TriGreenEquipment.com.
Offer ends January 31, 2023. 0% APR for 60 months, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
At CB&S Bank, we've been into meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans are on point, or setting new business goals. Our lineup of commercial loans can help you achieve them. At CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and even prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Angela, an employee at BASF in Alabama. As a chemist, I love working with a company who wins by offering great benefits to its team members. With great chemistry, anything is possible. At BASF, we create chemistry around the world through our people and our products. To join a winning team and a great place to work, visit BASF.US/Alabama. That's BASF.US/Alabama. BASF, we create chemistry.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home and stay in comfort. Enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 bar and restaurant. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Back with you live at Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. Roger Hoover joined once again by Gymnastics head coach Ashley Johnston as we preview what's coming up for the Crimson Tide against the LSU Tigers in a top 10 matchup on Friday. And what are you hoping to see from your student athletes as the week goes along getting ready for Friday?
You know, for Friday, I really want to see them go big. There's no option if we want to win. They're going to have to go big. They're going to have to focus on the little details. They're going to have to really attack each performance and build momentum. I think that's a big thing is building momentum, but then also creating that energy. So if something goes great, awesome. Let's build on that. If something doesn't go great, oh well, you know, can we pivot that energy, recreate it, and then start that momentum again? And so that's what I want to see out of them all night, is just staying in control of their moment so that they can put themselves in the best opportunity to win the moment.
Now that we're nearly 2 months into the season, are there still some new skills that are being added to routines, or basically the routines we've seen the last couple of weeks will be here from the rest of the season from this point?
You know, the routines that you're seeing will mostly stay consistent. I think what will change is that we need to continue to develop depth, because we're at the point of the year where sometimes bodies start getting a little bit run down and we need to rely on some other people to jump in, and we can't miss a beat when we do that. And so we've been working on both the details, but then also building depth. And so that's something that we're going to be able to test out on Friday also. We're going to have an exhibition spot on 3 of our 4 events. So on vault, bars, and beam, you're going to see your 6 people that are in the lineup, but then you're going to see a 7th competitor that's an exhibition routine. So they don't count towards the team score, but it's an opportunity to test depth. It's an opportunity to get some new faces out there to see kind of what they're going to score or possibly try a new skill. It gives them competitive experience that is really valuable.
And I imagine you see that after all the years you've been a coach, seeing that some exhibitions have led to either great seasons that year or foundation for a great career after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us, it gives us an opportunity to see, are we competing the right lineup? You know, sometimes there's somebody that might go in that exhibition spot and they outscore, you know, several people in a lineup. And that to us gives us more information in determining who is our highest scoring potential. Who are those lineups that are going to help us compete for a national championship in a couple months?
We're excited that this week Alabama is hosting LSU, and then after Friday's meet, it'll be the final home meet coming up of the season against Boise State on Friday, March 10th. So that's a little bit in the future, but we know that'll be senior night, and we know you want a huge crowd to support what has been an outstanding senior class here at Alabama.
Yep, it's going to be senior night, and again, we have 6 seniors to celebrate. They've done a lot for this program, and so I can't think of a better way to kind of send them off than to sell out our arena again. You know, that group has been through a lot between the years that COVID really took over. They didn't get to experience that as much as they should have. And so I'm really hoping to, again, just create that memorable experience that the Tuscaloosa community brings and that our campus brings, and send them out on a really high note.
Can you believe we're already talking about the final SEC home meet, then senior night? I mean, how has this season, has it flown by for you? Has it felt fast at your first as a head coach?
It's flown by, but then when I take a step back and really think about it, we're 7 meets in, and we actually have 8 to go to be at the Final Four where we want to be competing for a national championship. So while we're almost done with regular season matchups, we're not almost done in the grand scheme of things. And so we've got to stay focused on those little milestones and the things that we're working towards for the end.
Well, tickets available for Alabama against LSU, RollTide.com. Same could be said for Alabama against Boise State on March 10th. And Coach Coach Johnston, just thank you so much for your time tonight. We look forward to being back at Coleman Coliseum this Friday, cheering on Alabama against LSU. Roll Tide.
Thank you so much. Roll Tide. That's
Gymnastics head coach Ashley Johnston. Make sure you cheer on the Crimson Tide this Friday at 7 against the LSU Tigers here at home at Coleman Coliseum. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. You can visit alfainsurance.com to find a local agent. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Up next, it's time to talk Alabama basketball with head coach Nate Oats. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
At Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy. With only simple ingredients, water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar. Or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect, not easy.
Here at Payless Drugs, we continue to be just what the doctor ordered. We know getting the medicine you need is especially important during these unique times. And for your safety and convenience, we offer a drive-through at every location. Plus, we have prescription delivery and contactless pickup at all locations. Now's the time to take care of your immunization needs. Stop by any of our convenient locations today.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Now getting running start against the defender, had him on his heels. Steps back, three, short, rebounded by Griffin, and Ryland will try it. Nope, he'll give it to the corner. Miller, your turn. Man, is he good. 21 for Brandon Miller in Bama after another bank first three, leads it by 40.
That refreshing Bama highlight is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, brewed locally in Alabama and served to fans across the Southeast. You're listening to Hey Coach. It's presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. We continue with you live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover, now joined by the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nate Oats.
Thanks, Roger.
Roll Tide, Coach.
Appreciate it. Roll Tide.
Well, it's certainly good to talk to you as Alabama picks up a huge win on Saturday against Georgia, and it seemed like a great way to bounce back from the Tennessee game with what you guys did, especially early in that ball game.
Yeah, I think our guys came out ready to play. And we jumped on them early and stayed up big. It was a pretty good win. You know, a little disappointing the loss earlier in the week to Tennessee. You know, I didn't think we played great in that game, but I thought we came ready. We bounced back after a win. We've been pretty good after our losses, coming back ready to play in the next game.
Do you always see that after practice, like the first practice after a loss? Do they have the intensity you want to see?
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, we don't always go hard the next, particularly if we play on a Wednesday and then Saturday, Thursday's practice isn't really that long or hard. We're trying to get them to recover. So, you could tell that they knew that we had work to do, and we got into a little bit of work Thursday, and then Friday had a good practice, and Saturday we played well.
Then you mentioned starting the game with a lot of energy. Is that another thing you've been able to tell in all the games this season, how this team will start a game based on the energy you see either in warm-ups or in the locker room before the game?
No, you know what? To be honest with you, no. But we've done a pretty good job starting games well. So I anticipated this group starting that game pretty well. They did. Sometimes they're hard to read, but I think they've got a pretty serious work ethic about them, and they take their craft seriously. They take their preparation seriously. They realize when we've got work to do, and they knew they had some work to do. So I thought we came out well, played a good first half. We were able to get a lot of guys minutes. There's a lot of balance in the minutes and the production. So it was good. We had 5 guys in double figures. So it was good. Pringle ended up leading us, he almost led us in scoring. He had a double-double. If he could have made some free throws or that spin dunk, he would have led us in scoring. But he had a good game for us.
Yeah, that spin dunk nearly went in. That was a crazy play. But, again, he had such a great performance. What's led to his good results lately?
Yeah, he's been working hard in practice. He's getting better. He's more coachable now. Guys come in and they don't realize how much they really need to learn. So, and he needed to learn a lot. He's got a lot of athletic ability. He's got to get better on the defensive end for us. He's still got a lot of room to improve on defense. But, he's been coachable. He's trying hard. We put him over on a scout team, and he's been playing really well against our first unit. So he's done well, kind of emulating the opponent's bigs on the scout team. I think that got him a lot more reps and kind of got him going. But, yeah, he's nice to have as an option to bring in. He's definitely a lot different than Charles, but he played well in that game. We're going to need him here down the stretch against some of these teams with good bigs and deep front courts. He gives us a lot more depth in the front court.
Great game for Nick Pringle for the Crimson Tide on Saturday against Georgia. Right now we'll go to the phones to the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline. And our first question from the phones is brought to you by Alabama 811. Always contact 811 before you dig to know what's below. Call 811 or visit al811.com. Let's go down to Grand Bay, Alabama, where Pee Wee joins us now. Roll Tide, Pee Wee.
Roll Tide, Roger. Coach, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Pee Wee. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Coach, I wanted to ask, you play anywhere from about 10, 11 feet on your team. How is that over the course of this season when it's coming now to the FCC regular season, going into the tournament? How is that being able to keep your guys a little bit fresher instead of maybe relying on 6 or 7 guys?
It's got its positives and it's got its negatives. I think with a shorter rotation, you can sometimes get better chemistry, and those guys are used to playing with each other a lot more. The positive is if somebody's not bringing it, you definitely have somebody else that's anxious to get in the game and bring it. So, like you said, it keeps a little bit of pressure on them to play hard all the time. We've got different guys able to pick it up. Pringle had games where he's barely played. All of a sudden he has 19 and 12. So we're deep. It gives you options. Sometimes you just worry about how good's the chemistry. But we've got really good guys. I think they understand. Talk about a guy like Noah Grille who's playing less minutes this year than last year, but he's one of our best leaders. He speaks up. He's a great leader. He says the right thing, keeps guys' heads in the game. And, and when we need him, he's there. He's ready to go. Dom Welch, a guy that came in anticipating to play a lot more. He had an injury, kind of put him behind. I thought, he had a great practice today. I thought he played really hard, played well in the game on Saturday. So different guys that have been, down the rotation a little farther are still more than capable of giving us huge minutes. When you look at those three, they've got some experience, and they're more than capable of coming with a big game when we need them to.
Thank you for the call, Pee Wee. And how about Javon Quinterly? He had 3 points in the last game against Georgia, but he helped create for his teammates. He was second on the team with 6 assists in that game. Yeah, he came out playing well, had assists early, kind of found, I think, Pringle on the lob there. He's explosive. I thought he had a great practice today, too.
he's a guy that he's been there, played well in big games, was the SEC tournament MVP when we won it 2 years ago. So we anticipate getting him back rolling like he was a couple of years ago. I thought today's practice, he had a few turnovers that we would have liked not to have seen in the game Saturday, but and Wednesday had way too many, we know. But I thought he made some really good plays too. So we got to get his confidence back. He's capable of really being the best guard on the floor when he's out there doing his thing, playing with a lot of confidence. So that's where we're trying to get him back too.
Let's go back to the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline and go to Birmingham, where Mike joins us now. Roll Tide, Mike.
Roll Tide, guy. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Mike?
Fine, just fine, man. Great win on Saturday, and we'll get back to the team for the end of the season. We'll keep out home back there. And we had something, Coach. The South Regional, the regional we playing in Birmingham Legacy Arena next month. How you feel if we possibly could play in Birmingham? How you feel about that? If the possibility is there. Y'all playing Birmingham.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. If we kind of went out here, take care of what we're supposed to, we will be playing in Birmingham. The NCAA selection committee came out on Saturday. I think it was Saturday, with their brackets, and we were the number 1 overall seed. If you're the number 1 overall seed, you get to pick where you want to play in the first, second round. So we'll definitely pick to play in Birmingham and get as many fans from Alabama as we possibly can in Birmingham. So, it's definitely a plus. We'll hopefully have a pro-Alabama crowd in a big way there. You trying to make a run in the NCAA tournament, you got to get out of the first 2 rounds, and to have a home court advantage playing in Birmingham, I think would be great.
Certainly would be. Thank you for the call, Mike. We'll continue talking with Coach Oats in a moment about what's coming up this week for the Crimson Tide at South Carolina on Wednesday, and then hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks coming up on Saturday, but at South Carolina Wednesday, and then home against Arkansas on Saturday. More on that coming up in a moment as you listen to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
The way we do work has changed. Where we work, how we work, and the day-to-day challenges we face as businesses have evolved. As organizations continue to adapt, RJ Young is here to help. We're your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Whether it's office technology and equipment, managed IT services, business process outsourcing, or digital communications, we can help make your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient so your team can focus on the core of your business. To learn more about what RJ Young can do for you, visit themodernoffice.com.
Communities don't just happen. They're built by people. From the big moments to the small acts of kindness. It's the authentic connections we make that define us. At Alfa Insurance, we know that every day you're building things that are worth protecting. Because for us, this is more than coverage. It's who we are. Alfa Insurance, building tomorrow together.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last time out? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge-of-your-seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the ifs in sports. Regions helps you embrace the if in life.
Member FDIC.
Yellowhammer Brewing is proud to sponsor the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yellowhammer Brewing has been crafting fine beers for the state of Alabama for 12 years running. Their beers include a variety of classic styles, including their latest release, Yellowhammer Gold, a light, easy-drinking American lager. These guys are local and doing great things for their community. You can find their beers at grocery stores, restaurants, and craft beer shops throughout the state. Check them out at yellowhammerbrewing.com. Make your next pint of Yellowhammer and roll Tide.
Far corner still with the ball. Abdur-Rahim, his shot at the buzzer is up. It is no good. And Alabama is going to win, and this is another one of those times. If you're going to play it, you play it. Beat them that bad, you keep listening as long as the band's playing. 108-59 is your final.
We love Rammer Jammer after beating the Georgia Bulldogs. We got to hear that on Saturday as we continue our conversation with Nate Oats. That's presented by CB&S Bank. You can bank anywhere at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy. Again, we're talking Crimson Tide men's basketball with Nate Oats. And now your team back on the road this week on Wednesday night at South Carolina. What do you know about the Gamecocks?
They're a good shooting team. Our league in general has been fairly poor shooting the ball, but South Carolina's got some real shooting they put on the floor. Gigi Jackson's one of the most talented freshmen in the country. He's supposed to be a first-round pick, borderline lottery pick. He can really shoot it. They've got Michi Johnson's been playing really well, a kid out of Cleveland that we knew from our days back in the MAC. He's transferred in there. He's played great. He's shooting the ball well. Pull a kid off the bench, Carter, that Jerry Stackhouse, that was the best shooter in the SEC after they got done playing him. So Stackhouse knows a little something about shooters. So they got good shooting. Their record's not great. They played some. They beat Kentucky at Kentucky though.
Right.
So let's not forget. 2 games ago we lost to Tennessee. Saturday Tennessee lost to Kentucky. South Carolina beat Kentucky at Kentucky. So this is a league where anybody can beat anybody, and with the shooting they put on the floor, if you don't bring some energy and get your defensive mindset right, they'll make shots and beat you. So we got to bring it on Wednesday, and then obviously we got a big one Saturday.
Certainly do against Arkansas. We'll talk about that in a moment. We talked about the great work that Nick Pringle did for you in the last game against Georgia. And, of course, Charles Bediako has been the starting 5 really all throughout the season when he's been healthy. Just how has he looked in the last couple of games for you, and what kind of defensive intensity is he bringing?
You know what? Charles and Nick both have different, positives they bring to the table. Charles is bigger, longer, better rim protector. Pringle's better athlete, runs the floor hard, kind of gets out of ball screens. You could probably switch him a little bit more. You're probably not going to want to switch Charles on defense as much, but they both make each other better in practice. Charles is getting healthier and healthier. We put him in more stuff in practice today. He hadn't practiced going into Saturday's game really at all. It had been a week since the injury. We kept him out of practice, just played him in a game. So he practiced today. I thought he looked a lot better. Maybe tomorrow we'll get him through the full practice, but he's definitely improving, getting his explosiveness back. And those two are giving us a pretty good, formidable punch inside. And then you got Clowney, who play at the 5 as well. He's, a little, not as big as Charles, not as strong as Nick, more skilled than both of them, can step out and make threes at a higher clip, and kind of play on the perimeter. So if you want to go smaller with a stretch 5, you got Clowney. I think we got really good, options at the 5 spot there. So it's been good for us this year to be able to go different ways.
And when Charles has been healthy, just on the defensive end, is he among the better players defensively in the SEC?
Yeah, he really is. If you look at his defensive leverage, kind of like what our defensive efficiency is when he's on the floor. He's our best guy. He anchors the defense. With the way we play, we're trying to get on offense, we're trying to take away on defense. We're trying to get at the rims and threes on offense. On the defensive end, we're trying to take away threes, and we're trying to give you mid-range. And, if they want to shoot at the rims on Charles, we like our chances. They typically shy away from it, and they end up taking a lot more mid-range, which, we try to contest at a high level. And then, we think our shot geography on offense and defense has been pretty good. both ways. Our defense is up to third in the country in defensive efficiency on most of the metric. You know, you look at all the different, they got different ways to calculate it, but most of them have us in the top 3 in defensive efficiency. So our defense has been pretty good, and Charles anchors it, and he's got our best defensive leverage of anybody on the team.
Only a couple home games left for you, starting with Saturday's game, 1 o'clock against Arkansas. Final Saturday home game as well, so it will be Senior Day, recognizing Noah Grille, Dom Welch, and Adam Cottrell. You got to be excited to have their families in town and recognize what they've done for Alabama basketball.
Yeah, it's great. You know, we Cottrell's just, you know, crazy that it's been 4 years already. I remember talking to some of our assistants about kind of recruiting him as a preferred walk-on that first summer we got here, and here we are. He's going to graduate college. He's done. You know,
it's playing good minutes for you right now.
Yeah, sure. He got about 6 minutes on Saturday. You know, he played well for us. So. Yeah,
he knocked down a 3, didn't he?
Yeah, he played about 5 minutes, I guess. He hit the 3. He outscored Jackson Eder, you know, because Cottrell's from Georgia. I believe he played against Eder in high school. So they kind of, you know, and Georgia's obviously not as good as us, so their walk-on gets more minutes than he gets, but it was nice he was able to outscore Jackson in about
and he got the win.
Fourth of the time that Jackson played. Yeah, and we got a win, obviously, so he's got bragging rights for Georgia. But, you know, it'd be nice to honor Dom and Noah, too. Noah's given us 2 really good years, and Dom kind of came in just for his last year of basketball. You know, he transferred from St. Bonaventure, so it'd be great to have their families in. They both have really good families that got to know well, so it'll be nice to have senior night Saturday.
And speaking of Dom Welch, had 8 points for you in the win against Georgia. What could his role on this team be moving forward?
He shot really well in practice today. I mean, he came in as a shooter. He just got hurt, and he kind of struggled a little bit and hasn't shot as well. But he's big, strong, physical wing that he plays hard on defense for us, really hard, can rebound the ball. He's got high IQ, and he's got experience. I mean, he's played in big games. He played 4 years at Bonaventure, you know, with the COVID year. That's why he's able to play the 5th year. So, you know, he's an experienced shooter. So he was making shots in practice today. He made a 3 in the game Saturday. Hopefully they get him going and shoot. He's one of those guys. It wouldn't surprise anybody in our program that's watched him. You know, before he had the injury in December, you know, anybody that watched him play in the summer and fall, I mean, he'd go on fire, and had days where you didn't think he'd miss. So hopefully we can get him going, kind of give us another shooter off the bench.
Crimson Tide home on Saturday, 1 o'clock against Arkansas. We're asking that all fans wear white to Coleman Coliseum. What kind of crowd do you want to see? What kind of atmosphere do you want to see for this final Saturday home game?
We got a whiteout we got going on Saturday?
That's the word.
I like it. Let's see the whole place packed in white. So it's not having an empty seat in the building. It was pretty full. You know, we hadn't played a home Saturday game in a month before, you know, this last one. So let's try to do it over again. Let's get the whole place packed. Let's make sure there's not an empty seat in the house. We'll put on the show that they'll be proud of. And you know, Arkansas is a good team. We need to beat them to stay in the hunt. And we're only one. We got 4 games left, and we're only 1 game ahead of Texas A&M. So as well as we played all year and being number 1 in the country last year and number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament right now, we're still only 1 game ahead of Texas A&M and hunt for the SEC. So all these games are big. We need to go get a road win at South Carolina, and we need a win against Arkansas in a big way. So let's get everybody out. Let's be loud. Let's get the energy up. Let's make sure our guys are playing as hard as they can possibly play. And, you know, we only got 2 left. We got that one, and then we've got the following Wednesday against Auburn. So we got Arkansas and Auburn at home. That's it.
Coach, thank you so much for your time tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys later in the week here in Tuscaloosa and, of course, on the road at South Carolina on Wednesday. Best of luck and Roll Tide. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Roger. Roll Tide.
That's the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nate Oats. We appreciate his time with us tonight on Hey Coach. Special thank you as well to Onward Reserve, the official apparel provider of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, for all the great gear this season. Visit onwardreserve.com for all of your golf and game day apparel. Live authentically with Onward Reserve. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Back to wrap up the show in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a
T.
You can bank right on your phone or
tablet
with the My Trustmark app. Our mortgage lenders will help you buy your dream
two-story tutor.
And Trustmark Tailored Wealth offers
tried and true
advice that makes
transforming
your future a piece of
toast.
Nice. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At My Eye Doctor, we would never think of getting between you and your screen, except with blue light lenses. Eye strain can happen by spending hours and hours with devices, texting, gaming, binging. Our lens solutions can help minimize the stress and strain of harmful blue light. We welcome all insurances. Eye care and eyewear are better together at My Eye Doctor, Doctors of Optometry. Schedule an appointment today at myeydr.com.
What widens the eyes, tightens the stomach, and flutters the heart. Adrenaline. Feel it for yourself in the Toyota RAV4, Camry, Corolla, and Tacoma. Lease a new 2023 Toyota RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through February 28, 2023. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 3608 due at signing. No security deposit. With select equipment, $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
What's on tap next for Bama is presented by Bud Light, a proud sponsor of Alabama Athletics. Roll Tide with Bud Light. Of course, we've got men's basketball at South Carolina on Wednesday, women's basketball team at Florida on Thursday, and then the men's team home on Saturday against Arkansas. The Sunday game for women's basketball will be 2 o'clock against Ole Miss in the regular season finale. If you missed any portion of tonight's show, you can catch it on demand on our Alabama Insider podcast. Download and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. That does it for tonight's Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Good night from Baumhower's Victory Grille. Tom Stipe beneath the carabin here at Baumhower's. Ray Clapmeyer back at our Learfield studios along with Ashley Johnston and Nate Oats. This is Roger Hoover saying good night and roll tide.